Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, we're talking about friendships
and romance.
What? Cue the intro. So today we wanted to talk about six questions about romance and friendships. Honestly, when we were trying to write this episode, it was impossible to try to think about a topic as it relates to friendships and romance. But I did think that it was really important for us to go into this topic because you can't have friendships without romance. Or at least what in my head, I was thinking about how friendships usually sometimes maybe developed into relationships. And I was just honestly, when we first wrote the outline, it was how to get out of the friend zone. And honestly, I don't know. So we're here.
Yeah, we thought it's Valentine's Day tomorrow. Let's write an episode about romance and how it relates to friendships and stuff. And we also really like the friends to lovers trope. Like we do When Harry Met Sally. What's that other movie? Love, Rosie. Yep. So we're just we'll probably have so much to say,
But we don't. We don't really have a lot to say. So we came up with 6 questions that honestly we have no idea on what we're both gonna say because there is no outline, there is no points that we want to hit. It's just 6 questions that we got from the internet about love and romance. So if that's your jam, if you're a real tryhard, then you'll stick around.
Yeah.
But the first question is, can man and woman ever be just friends? You know what? The first response when we were talking about this in the car, you were like, but that's
heteronormative?
That's very heteronormative, you mentioned, right?
Yeah. Because I feel like with that question, it's under the implication of no, they can't be friends, obviously, because women and men are always going to be attracted to each other.
That's true.
That's what I thought because the wording was man and woman.
If I had to give it a think, I will say that women and men can be friends. Crazy.
Yeah, I think so too. But when you were younger, did you think that? I guess is much more interesting.
Yeah, I feel like most of my friends growing up were women.
Okay, this might be a bad question to ask you in particular because this is true. Ian has always been friends with women, girls in middle school.
I always thought that was a normal thing.
Yeah, but I think I at least for me, I remember in elementary school there was definitely a shift in maybe I don't know
the aura.
No, vibes. 3rd grade. It's no. Men are boys are actually your love interests or your crushes and you can't be friends or whatever.
I feel like that's some that kind of makes me sad. In the sense of oh shoot, at a very young age, you were kind of excluded from a relationship of a friendship from the other sex. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but also you're
and also as a 3rd grader, damn, that's such a young age for you to be thinking about the boys are for the boys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, even though that is the norm, I will say since I have 2 older brothers, I have been comfortable talking to guys because I've been exposed to what it is to talk to a guy since I was young, since I was born, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's I know that with my friends who have only sisters, my girlfriends who only have sisters, it's harder for them, or when we were younger it was harder for them to talk to boys.
Why?
Because they don't have boy siblings, and there's also you have that separation too of that expectation that girls should hang out with girls and boys should hang out with boys.
Then I wonder why I was always hanging out with the girls though, because I think I think the reason why was because as a kid, I had I needed to understand my emotions because I was a very angry child.
Oh.
And so I think that also helped because I was able to articulate my emotions and my feelings really well at a young age, that it just made it easier. And I also had some sort of expectations about the people I was hanging out with on how they would express themselves. And I think I found that more with the girls from my church than the guys from my church.
Yeah.
That isn't the same now because I feel I hang out with the guys as much as I hang out with the girls. I think they definitely can be friends. I think this is we started with this question because it's just one of those questions. When I think about boys doing a podcast, it's always can women and girls, can women and guys be friends? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they have some outlandish. I think you can.
Yeah. I think so too. And I think it's kind of weird not weird. I don't know if this is an exaggeration, but in my opinion, I feel low-key sometimes it's a red flag when a guy doesn't have any girlfriends.
I think it's because maybe when a guy doesn't have any girlfriends, they only see women through this lens of that is their role.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the role is to be a guy's partner.
Exactly,
and
exactly.
that's very red flag energy.
Yes. Guys, the camera cut off, died. So, anyways, the conclusion is we do think men and women can be friends. Next question is, what happens to your friendships when you enter a serious relationship? As someone who's not entered a very serious relationship, I would love to turn this question to you, Ian.
What happens to your friends when you enter a serious relationship? They're still there.
Okay.
They don't disappear.
Is that? Do you think you like balance like friendships and romantic relationships well?
Yeah, I think so. I think before I didn't. If you guys have watched some of the previous episodes, I mentioned how when I went through my recent breakup or my last breakup, or no, wasn't it
your like first?
No, it was the second to last. It was 2 breaks up ago. Oh my gosh, it's not like I'm breaking up with a bunch of people left and right, guys. But this was maybe 3 years ago. This breakup when it happened, and it was like, oh, I don't know if I have established friends or if I did a good job from it. And so I think when I entered a serious relationship during that time, I kind of like focused majority of my attention to this person, and then everyone else kind of like coasted by. And I don't think that was a good idea. So that's how I was. Now though, if I were to enter a serious relationship, I don't think that's the case. I think like I know now after having gone through that experience that it's really about fostering a community around the two of you, and that will make for like a better relationship.
When you mean community, do you mean like inviting them to things with your friends?
Yeah,
and not it just being like, oh, I'm with my girlfriend today.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I think it should be like you know their friends and they know you, so that way you guys can all hang out together in the same area.
Yeah.
And the same activities, because otherwise, why would I want to hoard my partner from her friends? You know what I'm saying? Or like vice versa too. I wouldn't want my future partner to like hoard me from my friends. You know, it would be great if everyone kind of knew each other.
Yeah. I think for me, since I haven't been in a serious relationship, I can't answer that part, but I have been the friend of a person who's gotten into a serious relationship.
And they disappeared.
Yeah. And it's so sad. It's like, I also, like, we used to text every day, and then they get a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and I'm like, okay, well. Bye. Actually, the worst offense is when we're FaceTiming, and we haven't FaceTimed in a while, like me and my friend. And then they're like, oh, sorry, Joey, my boyfriend just called. I'm like, girl, I'm actually going to start tweaking because this is literally, we scheduled this 2 weeks ago. What do you mean your boyfriend, who you literally like
talk
see
to every day,
all the time, like needs to call you right now. You can't just tell him like,
yeah.
And I think I've understood that, okay, I'm not your priority anymore. Like, you know, maybe they prioritize romantic relationships more, but I'm wondering, is that healthy? Like, should it be a balance, or should romantic relationships, like, I don't know.
It's interesting that you mentioned that, because like, what if, so like, let's say you're on the phone with your friend and their boyfriend calls. If your friend goes, oh shoot, my boyfriend is calling, I don't know, and like they like hang up on you, but they don't give an explanation, I'd be like kind of like ticked off.
Yeah.
But they should call you back, I think, instead of having a whole ass conversation with them for like 2 hours and being like, hey, my bad, like we just talked about some random things, you know?
Yeah.
Because I feel like if they had a good partner, they would understand that you're on the phone with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay, so this friend does call me back. The thing is, there was this one time where she got a call like every 2 minutes after that, and I was like, stop,
Bro, just
please.
add your boyfriend to that call. Let's just have a group call.
I was literally like, oh, she was like, oh, sorry, he called me back, 1 second.
What does he need?
I was like, there's no way.
That's crazy.
And I literally was so hurt that I had to like, I was like, no, Joey, you need to calm down, because you know, like, you were not the priority. It's okay. It's okay. So I like didn't talk to them for like a couple days to cool off. We finished the FaceTime, but I had to cool off after that, because I was like,
it makes you feel like you're not a priority. And like it's weird, because it's like, you know that they're gonna be running back to you if they do break up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and break up they did, and run back she did. Like, damn.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
But I think other than that, I don't really have any thoughts on this. Sorry guys. I don't have a lot of thoughts. But anyway, so I think like if I were to enter a relationship, I think it would be a healthy one where they know that they are a priority, but they're not the only thing in my life.
Yeah.
You know, now, because I think before if you asked me this question 3 years ago and I were to enter a serious relationship, I would go all in that relationship in the sense where everyone else is like low priority, you know? But now I'm just like, no, I need a community surrounding me in order for me to have a healthy life.
Yeah.
You know?
I think as I've grown up, I've realized that it is super unhealthy to just like go all in. Just because I've seen my friends like go all in and then they're back.
Nor would I want someone to go all in on me. Like I want them to have a life. Like I don't want that's so much pressure to have your partner make you like the center of attention for everything. It's like, no, please do your own thing.
Yeah.
Go off and do your activities, hang out with your friends, get brunch, do that.
Please have a life.
Yeah, have a life outside of me, please. You know, I think that's what I would want. The third question we have: what's the real impact of dating within your friend group? This can go two ways. I would say the first one is that it can blow up a friend group. The second one is that it can make the friend group so wholesome and lovely. Because I'm thinking about like when you're younger, and I'm thinking about like high school, college, it's kind of still dicey. You know, if you're dating within the friend group, I'd be like, no, don't ruin us. You know, like don't ruin the friend group, man. She was a cool girl, like bro, she's a homie. And they break up, and then now it's awkward. You gotta choose sides, and blah 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 blah. Now you lose a friend, or you lose like half the friend group. Post college, it's like, oh shoot, y'all gonna get married. We're gonna live next to each other. We're gonna have so many cool, fun activities. You know, our kids are gonna know each other. Like, it's that energy because you feel like there's it's like a possibility now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think like as you get older, the thought of dating within the friend group is actually a good thing, I think. But when you're younger, it's like, please, homie, please. Like, I know you thought she was cute, but like, why?
Yeah, you know? Yeah. I think another thing about like when you're dating when you're younger and why it's dicey is like when you are the one dating and then you guys break up, it's like you expect your friends to go with your side. And then when they don't, it's like, well, I guess that's who they chose, huh?
That's how the cookie crumbled.
Yeah, I guess they're trying to like be in the middle, but that's not possible because they broke my heart. I can't believe you would still be friends with the person that literally broke my heart. Wow, I guess that says a lot about you.
That's actually really crazy. And I feel like a lot of my friends have been put in that situation. But it's like, dang, to have to choose between two good friends just because you guys couldn't have a good relationship.
Yeah, that's a great way to say it.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean that she's mean to me or that he's mean to me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think that people should be reluctant and hesitant in terms of like getting into a relationship with someone in the friend group. But if they're serious about it, I think it's really wholesome. And I think it's like really nice. I'm thinking about my friend who recently got married and I'm like, that was a friend group and that worked out. And now they're married and happy and they're going to have kids and everything. So
question number 4 is, how do you build a social life as a couple without losing your individual friendships?
Man, you guys are asking the wrong people. Like, I know. Guys, this is why the first season wasn't about romance.
No, for sure. For sure.
Like, I feel like I have a lot of experience in a relationship, you know? But right now, I'm not in a relationship. And so I don't have the most timely advice to give about romance.
Yeah. And I think for me, I literally don't care about dating. So I haven't dated.
You've dated once.
I've dated once, but even then I was just like, that wasn't even that serious. So, yeah, I think, like, right now at the moment, I have deprioritized romance completely. So I can't answer these questions very well. And my answers are only based off, like, as a friend who is seeing other relationships and, being the person that friends go to.
Yeah. I would say, like, fuck, I don't know. I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't have thoughts. I know we're podcast hosts and this is supposed to be like an informational podcast, but maybe romance and friendships wasn't a good episode to do because we just have very little thoughts. Like who you like. Be who you are. Be who you are. I would say, okay, to build a social life, how do you build a social life as a couple without losing your individual friendships? So how about you make friendships also a priority? Hold up. And not be codependent. Crazy.
Oh
Crazy. Okay.
Next question is, what do you do when you hate your friend's partner or they hate yours?
That's a crazy question. The first question I would ask would be like, how did you get into this relationship with one of your friends hating the partner that you're about to go into? You know?
Yeah. For me, my friend's opinion matters so much because I feel like they know me so well.
Yeah.
Does it matter to you, would you say?
Yeah, 100%. I've asked you several times. I'm like, hey, is this a good person? And you're like, nah.
There was one time where Ian was in a relationship and he was like, so do you like her? And since I didn't know her very well, I didn't get the good vibe. Like, not a bad vibe, but I was like, this isn't the vibe yet. Like, I don't think she's the one.
Yeah.
I just couldn't say anything because you were like so happy, so.
Yeah.
And I only told you afterwards. But I think it's really hard to like have that conversation, especially like in that instance where I'm like, I don't have a reason to hate them or like tell you to break up. I just don't know if it's gonna go where you're hoping it's going.
Yeah, but I also it's made me really happy when you've liked my exes. Like some of my past girlfriends, when you've liked them, I was like, yes. You have the seal of approval, you know?
Yeah.
And I think if like you had a partner and I didn't like them, I feel like you would deeply consider breaking up with them or at least examining whether or not they're a good fit for you.
Yeah, especially because you know me like inside and out. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's a tail sign. Is that what it's called?
Telltale?
Telltale sign? Telltale sign.
Oh, I thought it was just telltale sign.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. Anyways, yeah, I think that's really important. Have you ever hated one of your friends' partners? Well,
no, I don't think I've ever hated anybody.
Or like disliked them, or like they were like, ah.
No, I really don't think so.
Okay.
Because I think like if anything, if I had or at least this is how I see it. If I had a partner and I introduced them to my friends, I expect my friends 1000% to give her so much goodwill and good energy because they are my partner.
Yeah.
Like I expect my friends to be like, oh, this person is such a cool person because I am dating them because I have filtered them through my own filter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So whenever I see one of my own friends and I see their partner, I'm like, this person must be amazing for them to have been with you or like for you guys to be together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I see it. So any of my friends' partners, I don't see as like I don't hate them. I just give them the benefit of the doubt.
I think it's also like trust. Like, oh, of course I like trust my friend to pick a good partner for themselves. And it's kind of weird to just be like, I don't trust you that you can pick a good partner for yourself. It's
yeah. But there are moments where I'm just like, I hear about my friends' exes and I'm like, oh, brother, sorry, king. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, that's so rough. Because I hear some of the things that like their partners have done to them. And I'm just like, oh man, I can't believe I'm sorry. Like, I guess, I don't know. It's just like a weird thing. But like, you don't know it when they're in a relationship because obviously when you're presenting your partner to your friends, it's usually through a positive light. Like, you're not bad-mouthing your partner, your girlfriend or boyfriend because it's like, why would you do that? You know?
When I was younger, my friend told me about a relationship and I was like, I don't know if that's appropriate because they are older and we were young. And I was just like, but whatever. You know, I like backed away. Yeah. And then now they're coming back to me after their breakup and they're like, well, this and this happened and this and this happened. I'm like, I guess like I like backed away because I trusted you, but I wish you told me all of this earlier. So yeah. So you wouldn't have been put in those situations.
I think also people don't want to be in a position where they have to defend their partner from their friends. I feel like that's such a hard position to be in, and also a hard position. Like, you wouldn't want to put your friends in that position either. Like, they shouldn't be defending their partner. If anything, it should just be like you being like, oh, does he say that to you all the time? Like, does he treat you that way? You know what I'm saying? Like, if he's saying that to you in public, and like, I've had friends where I meet them and I see their partner and the dynamic that they have together is very like toxic, but in very subtle ways where it's like they slowly
they're like slightly demeaning.
Yeah, they're like slightly demeaning to each other. I would say that's like interesting.
You know, I think we've had a conversation about this where I felt like my friend didn't have a good boyfriend. And I was telling you, I'm like, I don't know if I should say anything. And you're like, Joey, the key is to just ask them questions to get them thinking about it. So it's crazy that you said that because I was like, whoa, that just gave me like a whole flashback. And then when I did do that, they did start thinking about it. And then we had a conversation about like, maybe I shouldn't be with this person. Or that's what my friend said. And I was like, yeah, maybe not. I guess if they're doing that.
Oftentimes I feel like you shouldn't be telling your friends about who they should be with. Right. But I think it's like when you ask these questions in a way where it's approachable and you're a little, it's not like it's like a, that's interesting energy where it's like not offensive, not super aggressive, but it's just like a curious. Is that how you guys treat each other?
Yeah, it's like planting these seeds for you to just like think about that for a second.
Because it's also kind of like, it's giving them an opportunity to also say like, oh no, you know, she's just having like a really rough day today. And so like, that's why she's on edge, you know, but it's not you being like, I can't believe like they said that about you, you know, you're not being aggressive, but I think that's the way to approach it. If I did hate, which is a strong word, one of my friend's partners.
So you would do that. Would you ever like directly say it? Like, would there ever be a breaking point? Could you imagine a breaking point?
No, unless they like told me something that was like really offensive or they did something to me where I was like, that is like really mean. Then I sometimes people are just people. That's just how they communicate. And it's also kind of like if we're not hanging out in like these huge friend groups with them, then I couldn't care less. You know, because it's like, well, if you're happy with them, then who am I to judge?
Yeah.
You know, you're the one seeing them most of the time. Like, you got to deal with that. And if you're happy with that, I guess it's fine.
Yeah, it's your life. You know, I respect that. I respect the decisions you're making for yourself.
Yeah, hashtag respect. Thanks for sticking around.
Yeah.
Thanks tryhards. But this season is about self-improvement. And I would say in order for you to think about romance and friendships, you kind of have to be in a relationship. LOL. That's not us.
Yeah.
Not yet. But all that to say is that like in the next few episodes, we're going to be talking a lot more about friendship specific things, as in like, I think we have an episode on what to do when your friends go through like a breakup or if they go through like someone died.
Yeah. And then also like how to deal with friendship breakups, how to let go of people.
Red flags in friendships. So there will be better episodes, but considering that tomorrow is Valentine's Day, we figured, sure, let's just do it.
You know, for the fun of it.
For the fun of it.
To be festive, we even wore red.
We wore red. We're crazy. We're a little podcast host. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please subscribe.
Drop the blue heart emoji.
No, you know what? Pause.
Whoa.
Don't even drop a blue heart emoji. You drop us advice. You give us advice.
Well, okay.
On friendships and romance, if you guys have any. Or if you have any thoughts.
Oh,
I would appreciate that.
I'm going to request something else along with the advice. If you're gutsy enough, please drop the name of your crush.
Yeah,
please.
Just drop it.
Or like any of your crushes, you know, if you currently like something. Our channel's so small, they're not gonna find it.
That'd be crazy word. Yeah,
like,
please.
They're not gonna find it.
That'd be so. But also, if
confess your crush, actually.
Confess your crush, and then also if you're a little scared, you can like go on like, you know how like in Harry Potter, where they had like Voldemort, and then it was like the words were rearranged. So let's say if your crush is, I don't know, Tim. If you're too shy, put Mitts. At least you're giving it up. You know what I mean? At least you're putting it down. If you're that scared, if you're that paranoid, right? Like if it's Alice, Lycia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just one. Am I dripping or did you just move one letter? You just moved A to the...
Bro, I really thought I did something there. I really thought my mind could just, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like too scared to like do bigger names. Because it's just so hard to rearrange it. I'm sure there's a website for it though, you know?
Yeah. No, this is super off topic, but this reminds me of how you were like, yeah, the problem is with like sign language and finger spelling is that I'm not even good at spelling. So like, that just reminds me of that.
You know what's fun is that like when this episode drops, the day after there is like a sign language event that's happening and I'm so excited to go because Hopefully it's like Valentine's Day themed.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Smash that notification bell. Yeah.
Bang, 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 bang. Bang. That's the ding. Bang, bang, bang.